Now we're at the front suspension. This is where the fun begins. So, the first pain in the butt part of working on the front suspension is the fact that this stud is pretty much inaccessible from inside the wheel well. So what you have to do, open the hood. On the passenger side, you can kind of get at it right there. See, there's the valve cover, beauty shield anyways. And you can hold that little sucker in place with a combo wrench or a crescent wrench. And you are going to be swinging that wrench at like a 2-inch sweep. And your lower back is going to kill you when you are done. So that's probably why these people got the Lisle tool that everybody's talking about. Anyhow, going inside now. That's the base of the shock there. Those are the other two bolts that need to come out. They're not too bad. I might even be able to hit these suckers with the air ratchet. Now, later on I'm going to show you the zip tie method of getting this thing out. The other way you can do it is to disconnect these two upper control arm bolts on each side, and then you'll be able to pivot the whole upper control arm out and just pull the shock up that way. Which doesn't sound too bad, but a lot of people say you're going to have to realign the car when you're done. Fact of the matter is, I just dropped 150 bucks a couple months ago to have my car aligned for autocross, so don't really want to go through that again. Kind of eat up the savings that I got on this great deal from Randy at DRM. Anyhow, let me get to work. Once I've got this thing all unbolted, I'll show you the zip tie method. Alright, so I got the lower mounts out, started to get into taking the upper mount off, and, well, I caved. This is the Lisle shock absorber tool that everybody's talking about. So they're basically like 3 different sockets. The chromish sockets go over the shock stem. This guy, the blued steel socket, goes over the shock nut. So what you want to do, and I'll show you, this is really a mess on the 2009 car, because I don't know. I don't remember it being this bad on a 2007 anyways. That's the chrome socket on top of the nut, and then I take this stem on this kit. It's actually the tool that only has a hole on one side that fits the stock sack shock. Anyhow, stick that in there, spin it around, find the magic point, there we go. So hopefully there. So see, that holds the stem in place. You grab that with a wrench, grab that with a wrench, and go to town. So wish me luck. So I'm reading the instructions, and it says that you want to stick a 1/2-inch socket or wrench on the stem socket and a 13/16 wrench on the nut socket. Don't know if this is the case for you, but a 13/16 doesn't fit. I had to go with a 7/8. Anyways, just letting you know. Alright, so I'm going to get started on doing the zip tie method now. I've got that upper shock nut off. Not easy. Anyways, I tie one zip tie around the top of the shock collar. The shock collar has a bushing in it that's going to compress the shock when the zip ties are compressed. It'll keep the shock compressed. As you can see, I've got the zip ties on either side of the shock. They're not attached yet. What I'm going to do is jack the shock up, and once the suspension goes as high as it can, I'll tie the zip ties as tight as I can get them. And then when I release the jack, the shock will remain compressed. I hope. Anyways, cue scene cut. Talk to you in a bit. Alright, now we're reaching the end of the video. As you can tell, I've got some pretty good distance between the top of the shock stem and the bottom of the shock tower. Time to pull the shock out. I actually disconnected the wheel speed sensor just because it was kind of in the way, and there we go. No more shock. Installation is the reverse of removal.